Alright, folks, this is 7th Syndicate, and I am playing Rome Total War, my Julii campaign. This is, I believe, episode 10. And here we go, zooming down on the map to give you a good look at what is going on. So, the last video, there was really nothing to it. Nothing really happened. I held all my settlements. I didn't lose any settlements. I just said that. I didn't take any settlements, is what I meant. Um, and it was basically just me standing still. I did attack the Gauls, or the Gauls attacked me. Either way, I fought the Gauls. So that was what really happened. I just fought the Gauls, and that was over and done with. There was really nothing else to it. And here in this episode, I believe there's only one battle as well, and it's kind of a big one though, but it kind of goes down really fast. And the Spanish declare war on me, even though I was going to kill the Spanish anyways. Yeah, so it's just pretty interesting, and I've never really fought the Spanish before, so it's interesting to see their units on the battlefield, which I really, like I said, never seen before. So it's just kind of interesting to see all the new stuff that I saw battling the Spanish, and I actually won against the Spanish fairly easily, though I was fairly outnumbered. It really didn't matter. I think it was because they had more light units than my units, so it was really just, it really wasn't that much of a fight. And even though I attacked them, they basically drew a line in the sand right just like an inch away from mine, which allowed me to win the game fairly easily and take out their general. And that'll happen later on. It's actually probably a big part of the video. I think starts around minute 7 and goes till the end. And I end the video without going back onto the battle map, or the campaign map, whatever you want to call it. I end the battle just before that, because there's really no point in continuing. So, because all I do after that is save and make sure my game is saved, make sure my recording was good, and left. Really, that's really what I did. So there was nothing that really happened after that, anyways. So I noticed the Spanish army, and I tried to move my army within range, so I didn't have to. I could defend the city from the inside the walls, and I didn't have to attack the Spanish. But it kind of backfired, and I will have to. Well, it didn't really backfire, but it didn't really work. So I do have to fight the Spanish in the end. And that's always something good to do. So now I'm just like going through my city, seeing what I can rebuild everywhere, especially around that city that is almost Narbo Martius, which is just about to be attacked. I send this guy down to Carthage, which has finally stopped revolting. And that was actually the reason I sent him down there, is to keep them from revolting. And so I could possibly build up an army and move on attacking other Carthage territories, because I took their main city, which is kind of what made them their most threat, because it's what they could build their biggest units out of. So I got rid of, and I also got rid of several generals, several family members. So I weakened Carthage with kind of one huge swing at their capital city, though I did lose 2 of my own family members, one in a defense and the other one just died of old age. But it was after a battle with Carthage, which, if you haven't seen that, you should go watch my other videos. They're really nice. And if you like watching the strategy games, if you like watching RPGs, if you like watching all that stuff, you should go check out my friend's channel. It's Xcaltor, XSCALTOR, and he really only does RPGs. And I lied. The combat starts around 5 minutes, and it goes for almost the rest of the video. So, but I mean, my loading screen for some reason just, I don't know. And that menu taskbar, I'm sorry about that. That'll go away just after this, and so will that Skype thing. I was actually talking to my friend throughout my recording, so this is an after commentary, but it does go away, and so does that taskbar when the battle is about to begin. So it begins in, like, I don't know, 10 seconds, maybe a little bit more, and it's very interesting. To me, it's kind of interesting because I've never had a battle really. Um, I've never really been that outnumbered. Like, believe it's 3,000 something to just 1,000 troops, and I thought I'd win. I had no doubt that I would win, but I was going to have to attack was my main thought, and I'm not exactly 100% on attacking, and I do listen to a little bit of his rant there, but no, mainly I didn't think. I thought it would be a lot harder for me to attack him, so I wouldn't really get much done. This, that, and the other thing, and yeah. So that was my biggest concern there. But I positioned my troops, and he is on the other side of the map. And I probably should have fast forwarded through this, but I mean, he, like I said, he draws a line in the sand right next to mine. Before I even move my troops, he moves his troops right into right next to my line, which was interesting. And I reformed my cavalry behind my line. But I've never actually had this happen on the defensive. I've never had my enemy run up to me. So it's interesting to see this happen. And it's also kind of funny because most of my men are on auto fire, so they start getting bombarded by javelins. It doesn't really do much, but at the same time, you don't need much to do enough, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. And here we go. This is basically the start. See, they moved just a few. You probably couldn't even fit a group of men in between that, but that's what they do. They move that close, and I just move all my men accordingly um, to attack their shifted line, because after my cavalry attacked, they shifted up. So I did that. And here we go. There's really not much to the battle. I do charge their general in hopes of killing him, and it does work. And I was actually surprised that it did, and it was fun. Definitely fun. Yeah, and I'm just zoomed in, looking across to his general's units to try and find his general. When out of the blue, his general dies. And I continue on with this battle, though I could have ended it right here and done more on the campaign map. I really continue the battle just to try and slaughter the men. All but the right side really broke, so I basically just charge that side. And it really breaks pretty quickly, which is really fine by me. That's totally okay. I don't mind at all. I'd rather have their troops retreat than lose a ton of mine just trying to fight, you know, all their troops. And I don't really try and surround them to kill them, but when they start to retreat, I do charge them with my cavalry. That's why I think it's another reason I think it's extremely important to have cavalry is because when they start to retreat, if you have enough units, there's no really limit to how many of your enemy's units you can kill just by charging them while retreating. It's definitely fun and different. And I mean, there's really nothing left of this battle. I just try and kill as many Spanish as I can before they get too far, and that's basically all that the next 3-4 minutes are. Um, so that's really what took the longest. The primary engagement didn't even take that long. It was more of a quick um, little bout, and then they retreated, which I thought was kind of funny. So that's really awesome. I'd rather have it go that way than have a big battle and lose more men myself. And in two of my cities near my capital, I have finally unlocked the ability to get archers. So I will be building archers to go along with my army, which is a lot better than, just javelin men, because they can do so much more damage to units at the beginning. Like cavalry is to hold off units and to run down units at the end, where archers are better just for kind of attacking right at the beginning. Um, as your enemy is approaching you, or as you are slowly approaching your enemy, archers are definitely the way to go. And they do a lot of damage, you know. And it's not that their arrows every time kill a lot, it's just that over time it kills a lot. So I finally get the reinforcements from my city. So I mean, the bad thing about my computer is it can't really handle too many troops on the battlefield at once, so reinforcements usually arrive late, whether for me or my enemy. So it's a bad thing both ways, because my enemy might actually win against me if they were to have their reinforcements on the battlefield at the beginning of the battle, but instead it arrives late, and that allows me to kind of win. And there we go. I continue the battle for a little bit more. I actually forgot that it hadn't told me I won a victory, because that was the only unit that hadn't broken, and I think that's kind of annoying, because honestly, what are they going to do with one unit of swordsmen? Especially when swordsmen can do nothing against cavalry, really. So basically, this is just a little mopping up the battlefield. And that's really going to do it for the battle. They have that one unit retreating still at the top. He's not quite out of the borders, but he's right near it, so it's not that big of a problem. And I'll just let you guys enjoy the rest of the battle. It's really, there really isn't much. He's just going to go out, then it's going to show the numbers lost and won, and they're actually quite, in my opinion, they can be quite impressive, because they lost several thousand and I lost, I think, only several hundred. So it's really quite a difference between troops lost and troops killed, and it's a good difference. It really is. So, bam, clear victory, because they lost like 3,000 troops, I believe, and I lost like 200 or 300. So, yep, that's gonna do it.